Hi guys, Matthew from your Fidelity here. I'm sure you're familiar with the concept of buying your equipment, but have you ever considered assembling something by yourself? Well, now you can. Check out the WHAMMY with me today. So this is the WHAMMY. It's a DIY headphone amplifier designed by Wayne Colburn, who you may know from past labs. It's $300. It's when you buy it, it's basically electrical components and this whole chassis, which it's built inside. You have to do the assembly yourself, and it's pretty interesting because the fact that you have to assemble it makes it more accessible in terms of price, which I'm also going to talk about later. I'll do it like a pros and cons video, because there are pros to it, but there are certainly some downsides to that I will surely have to discuss, and things that you should definitely be aware of. Okay, so let's get right into it. I'll start with the build quality. Basically, it's all metal. It's just a black basic chassis. There are some holes for ventilation, your knob, usual stuff, front, back. Nothing really special here, but trust me, there are many other special things about this amplifier. Definitely the biggest advantage of the WHAMMY is the sound. To me, it's impossible to beat at the $300 price point. I actually can't think of an amplifier that matches it in terms of the sound quality. It makes your headphones retain their technical abilities, but adds this little bit of warmth, not limiting your headphones in any manner. Maybe the soundstage is just a little bit more narrow. Sound-wise, this is to me this is unbeatable at $300. This could be endgame as well for me, and it's kind of shocking how this amplifier only costs $300, because listening to this you definitely wouldn't say it's just $300. I've heard many 10 times more expensive amplifiers than this one that still could get beaten by this. If you're looking for musical, warm, lush sound that's not gonna limit your headphones in terms of technical abilities, this is definitely for you. Personally, I haven't got any like power hungry cans on hand, so I didn't really test the WHAMMY's full potential when it comes to the sound. However, I've done most of the testing with the HE1000 SE and the Burson Playmate 2 as a DAC, and personally, let me tell you, I could live with this amplifier definitely. The HE1000 SE sound lively, they sound dynamic and engaging, but the technical performance that the HE1000 series are known for, it's all still there. The sound isn't darkened by any means, the top end doesn't lose its sparkle. So in terms of the sound, at $300, this is a no-brainer to me. Another huge advantage of this amplifier is the power. Whatever you're going to need to power, you can do it with this, trust me. I've been listening to this amplifier with HE6 SE together with Michał, who built this. The HE6 SE sang with this amplifier. The sound was dynamic, musical. It's quite amazing how much life, dynamics, magnetism has been added to headphones that are so power hungry. The HE6 SE are no joke when it comes to power requirements, and the WHAMMY just killed it basically. The HE6 SE has similar impedance and sensitivity specification to the Susvara, which is notoriously hard to drive, a headphone that needs a nuclear reactor to properly power, and here we have a $300 amplifier that made a headphone that's very similar in terms of drivability. It made them sing. The technical performance of this headphone retained its best qualities, so the warmth definitely didn't limit the headphone in any way, and swapping op-amps in this amplifier was so much fun. Today I'm gonna talk about 3 operational amplifiers: the stock one, staccato, and mask audio. So here are the op-amps I've mentioned before. This is the mask audio. This is the amplifier that kind of takes the WHAMMY sound signature and ups it a notch. Basically, if you like how the WHAMMY sounds, then you're gonna enhance all the great things about it with this operational amplifier. It's a very safe pick if you want an upgrade from the stock one, but still you want to enjoy the sound signature of the amplifier. Now this is the staccato. This one makes the WHAMMY sound more like a tube amplifier. It gives way more warmth and lushness to the WHAMMY than the stock op-amp. However, to some the highs may be a little bit too dull, a little bit too recessed. So I'd say the mask is more like a neutral, enhancing the sound signature of the WHAMMY, while this warms up the sound even more, and this one makes the sound of the WHAMMY more reminiscent of a actual tube amplifier. If you want some more in-depth information in terms of like the components, the building process, I'm not knowledgeable enough to explain it to anybody, but Michał made a really good job kind of going through the journey, discussing what components are there, and yeah, if you want some more technical information about the amplifier, check it out down below, the link is there. Okay, so I've mentioned the pros, and now let's talk about the cons. Well, maybe not necessarily cons, but things you should definitely be aware of when you choose the WHAMMY. First of all, it's kind of a difficult project. It's definitely not as easy as building a cable. You actually need some experience with soldering, with electronics, to build this properly without any issues like breaking something or destroying anything. I guess that's also the part which makes the WHAMMY so cheap, is that the entire assembly process is at the hands of the user. Another thing I want to mention is that you have to really watch out when it comes to switching the op-amps. In the WHAMMY there are no safety measures that are going to protect your headphones in case things go south. So if you don't want your drivers in your precious headphones to explode, then you better arm yourself with a multimeter. So I've actually asked Michał about the safety measures of the WHAMMY, and he told me that the WHAMMY has a very low output offset and it doesn't have a headphone protection system in case of a failure. So when swapping op-amps, you want to measure the output offset between each channel and the ground to check if the swap was successful. If you do that every time, then you don't have anything to worry about. Another gripe I have with the WHAMMY is its functionality. I know it's a $300 amplifier and the sound is already so good, but you should be aware of the fact that there's one headphone socket, there are no gain switches on the back apart from the socket for your power cable. Are analog inputs and pre-outputs both RCA, so nothing balanced if that's what you're looking for. And to me personally, this wasn't really a problem. I didn't find myself missing any of that functionality, but that's something you should definitely know about when you pick this amplifier. Of course, it has its issues like the limited functionality, the lack of safety options, the basic design, but in comparison to how much it offers when it comes to the sound, I think this is something that you can just ignore, and if you want something more functional in your system, get a more functional DAC, stream or whatever, because if you have someone that could build this amplifier for you, if you don't have the skills, then I encourage you to pick this up. I will actually order one from Michał to assemble for me, because I'm definitely going to miss it when I have to send it back. As I said, this could as well be my amplifier endgame. This is something I really want sitting on my desk. And I'm still in disbelief that it sounds that good at $300. So as you could probably hear, this is a very strong recommendation from me. Yet again, I encourage you to read the written review, because there's a lot of technical information as well as more information on the op-amps that I haven't mentioned. So definitely give it a read if you're interested. And if you pick one up, good luck in the build. And yeah, see you guys in the next one. Bye.